Okay, so what you want to do is you want to get out your AFMIT. Page 58, the Guidon.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is on part 2 of how to Guidon. Let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is some of the rules with a Guidon that's different than just with being in a flight. So like if you're doing route step or at ease marching, you can hold it at either hand. So this would be the traditional where it's in your right hand, and yes, I'm using PVC pipe because I don't have a Guidon at my house. So originally the Guidon would be in your right hand, but if you're a route step or at ease marching, you can hold it in left hand or right hand. Still hold it properly, but it can be used in either hand. Also, running with Guidon is pretty easy. You take the Guidon from where you normally are and take your other hand and make it like this. You turn it at a 45-degree angle and you hold it across your body.
This is how to carry a Guidon.
So it should be held like this across your body, and you would just run like you normally would. Make sure not to whack the people because you will be standing in a position where it's very easy to go like this and whack people either in the head or in the feet. So make sure you're being kind and considerate of other people. Another thing is, when marching, you want to hold it straight up and down like this. Now, if you have a really tall Guidon, what the temptation can be is to hold it like this, kind of like a gun or something like that, where you're holding it back. You want to make sure that however you're holding it, you want to hold it up and down. And then another thing is, if you have a little point at the end, but it's usually a flat, like spade looking thing, you want to make sure that you're holding it straight against your body. So it's like this and not like this. So keep it straight, and if you just keep it straight when you like put it on and look up, make sure it's right, then normally wherever you are, you don't really twist the Guidon a lot, so it should be pretty easy from there. Another thing that I forgot to tell you in my first video is 6 inches off the ground. Now, 6 inches is about that much, so if you just lift it up, because remember you're gonna take this arm and just lift up, usually it's just, you can kind of eyeball it. About 6 inches is about halfway in between your calf. So I found that's kind of the way you just eyeball it. And so the next things I want to cover is, so when you're standing at attention, what you're going to do is you're going to take it and you hold it like you normally would, like I showed you in part 1, just like this in a V, and you're just going to hold it like that. Okay, and then when you're going to do at ease, you put it down and down. What I did say is that you need to take this hand and put it behind you as you normally would. Because normally at ease, you take your hands and interlock them like this. So you're just going to do the same thing with this hand and put it straight behind you. Remember not to keep any windows or anything like that, and be really professional about it. This other one should just be taken and put out arm's length, so your arm is straight against this, holding in the V shape as well.
Is at ease / parade rest at all different angles.
And the regulations for this is section 5C of the manual of the Guidon and AFMIT 36-2203, also on page 58. Okay, this right here is what I would call line formation, or not what I would call, this is line formation. Right here you have the flight sergeant who would be necessarily in that point in the middle, but could be moving around because they're the flight sergeant. Then you have a 4x4 formation with the Guidon right here. This right here would be your element leaders. And this would be typically an opening formation and inspection. Then down here you have column formation. Now the real difference is you don't really fall into column formation, you're probably falling in a line formation, and then this would happen when you make a right haste. The Guidon would move from here over here, and you would traditionally start marching this direction. And so these people, instead of facing that direction, they would be facing that direction. That's what that little arrow is right there for. And this is called column formation, and this is typically what you're going to use while you're marching. If you have more questions, leave them in the comments below or my Facebook page. The link will be somewhere over here. And you can always personal message me on YouTube or on Facebook, and I would love to get your feedback. If you'd like to see a part 3, I don't really know what I would do for part 3 of how to Guidon, but if you have more questions, comments, concerns, ideas, leave that below and maybe I'll make it into a part 3. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Now you have the ABUs, which currently are with the Sage boots, and that's what the Air Force wears. And the Sage is like a tannish, greenish kind of color. Seriously.